Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I told y'all. Every time I tell y'all something, and it come out right, then nobody want to be like, nobody ever say you was right, Macko. Y'all don't never give me no type of credit or nothing, folks. Nothing. This is crazy. This is local business. This is crazy work. In new motion filed yesterday, the federal government has submitted a video that allegedly shows Pooh Shiesty and his accomplices robbing Gucci Mane. They claim the video was retrieved after being deleted from Big 30's cell phone. We were not able to access the video, but they did provide a screenshot from the video in motion. So you see Pooh Shiesty, he's sitting here holding his gun. You see his homie with the gun all the way out. I don't know who this is. Oh, this is Gucci Mane in the yellow. So this is actually Gucci Mane in the yellow that they sitting there and no! They got Gucci Mane in the video actually they got the whole robbery. This nigga Big 30 nigga Big 30 recorded him? What the fuck? Look, you got his dad sitting here with the contract in his hand. The whole thing on video, bro. This is insane. Unsatisfied with merely obtaining a written release, Williams Jr. announced that he wanted to film Gucci Mane, and Wright Jr. recorded RD on his cell phone stating that Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017. All the while, co-defendant DeMarcus Glover, who had entered the recording room as an altercation ensued, blocked the door holding a Draco. Oh, shit. So they got the whole, you dig, on camera, bro. It's over. It's over. I'm going to just, before I even get into the videos with all the details, it's over. What kind of dumb idiot do you gotta be to get out of jail, go rob your label, rob the nigga who label you on, and have your homie record it?
The government has responded to Pooh Shiesty's lawyers, revealing a lot more evidence to the public.
Over,
I know in
bro.
my last video, I said Pooh Shiesty could
over.
walk based on that specific document, the way his lawyer was framing it. But now I'm back to thinking he's cooked. And this is just
Y'all
the
be
way it
having
goes.
a lot of hope for these niggas. I ain't never had hope for these niggas. When the feds lock these niggas up, it's over with. Why y'all don't just accept the facts, bro?
His defense lawyer is going to frame shit
It's the
differently.
FBI.
Watch this full video. It is not looking good for Pooh Shiesty. Hit subscribe. Let's go. All right, here we go. We got government's response to defense motion for review of the detention
his
order. So
dumb
Pooh
ass.
Shiesty's
Look
trying
at
to
his
get out on
dumb ass.
bond. Charged with kidnapping,
Look at
conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. Detained.
mother-
He posed a flight risk and danger to community if released. On January 10th, Williams Jr. and his 8 co-conspirators perpetrated the armed kidnapping and robbery of 3 victims in Dallas, Texas music recording studio. Williams Jr., a popular recording artist who performs under the moniker Pooh Shiesty, also leads a Memphis-based street gang referred to as Choppa Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. At the time of the offense,
course
Williams
they gonna
Jr.
put all
resided
that
in
in
North
there.
Texas, fulfilling the final months of a 63-month sentence for conspiracy to possess firearms and furtherance of violent and drug trafficking crimes. And part of his sentence, he was required to stay in Frisco in an apartment. His home detention included, among other things, he should not own or...
Listen, y'all, YouTube and Meta might owe you up to $1,000 if you or your child grew up on social media. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health issues, you should hear this. Recently, a jury just ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They know that their apps can cause anxiety, depression, or body image issues, but they never shared those risks with us. They never made us sign anything that we knew the risk. They just maximized their profits. And the recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. But you better not worry. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm that they have caused. Click the link in my bio to take a very short questionnaire quiz, because you might be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000.
possess any dangerous weapon, associate with persons having a criminal record, consume alcohol or use controlled substances. Okay, so bro's not allowed to drink or nothing or do any drugs
He
or
wasn't even
talk to
supposed to be
anyone that has a
around
criminal
nobody but
record
him.
or be
Wow.
near any weapons. Williams Jr. was required by these conditions to remain at his place of residence, but he routinely failed to abide by these conditions throughout the course of his home confinement.
So he was gonna be
Persisted in
cooked
skirting
regardless.
these requirements to the
That's
help
what it
of
sounded like to me.
collusive-
Bro ass was done. It was over when he started. Because he think he big bad wolf nigga. I'm Pooh Shiesty nigga. I've been street. I'm chopper gang. Brr, big brr. The biggest brr. I do what I want to, homie, cause I'm from Memphis, cuz. And I do what I want to, cause I'm the biggest gangster ever, cuz. For real, cuz. And you know how I do it when I do it, how I do it when I do it, when I want to do it, I'ma do it. So that's what it is, and I don't give a fuck the fed. Yeah, FDO, first day out, nigga. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, tell the op, come fuck with me. Yeah, he wanted to be gangster. He said shit. I ain't reporting to no. Fans told his ass go home. He said no. Okay.
DOA employees. People getting fired over this shit is
Hell
what they're
yeah.
saying. Investigators have now learned that Williams Jr. was involved in an inappropriate relationship with at least one of the VOA case supervisors. VOA employee was actually
What's
involved in
VOA?
entering fake day passes that would allow Williams Jr. to travel to
No.
unapproved locations while he was supposed to be confined to his residence. This
This nigga had the inside man and the feds?
misconduct extended
the
the day
fuck?
of kidnapping itself on January 10th. On that day, the employee entered 3-day passes, allowing Williams to travel, and contacted him 19 times over that course of the day. The VOA later terminated that employee for this conduct. Okay, so someone did get fired.
What's
Like I
VOA?
said
Let's
earlier. Knew that was happening. Despite these
sure.
employees assisting him in requirements of home confinement, Williams Jr. still managed to be formally written up for violating these conditions on at least 4 occasions. These included providing a cold urine sample on November 8th, 2025, which was documented as a refusal. Bro handed him cold pee in the cup. Come on, bro. What are we doing? That is so stupid. Failing to appear for his urinalysis on January 30th, to which he claimed he was unable to secure transportation. Failed to report for his biweekly check on March 3rd.
Your
Claiming that he
rich
did not
ass.
have transportation
your
report
rich-
for
your
scheduled
rich ass can't
urinalysis
get
appointment on March
transportation.
21st, 2026. When Williams Jr. asked if he could report the next morning for his test, VOA approved this request, yet he still failed to report. His lawyer, and that document I read before that, was saying he never violated no rules. He was the perfect citizen. The government's like, hell nah. He was leaving his house when he wasn't supposed to. He was avoiding P tests. Imagine
Yeah.
the judge reading this too. They're gonna be like, yeah, fuck this. He's gonna
He
stay in
damn
jail.
sure ain't getting
On
no
the afternoon of
bond.
the offense,
Right.
Williams Jr. was
Let
written
me
up for
see, what
being
does
at an
VOA mean?
unapproved location. VOA
That's what I
records
was
support the
grabbing
statements
my
provided by
phone
the
for. Shit,
victims
tripping.
and the witnesses that Williams Jr. was called and instructed to return to his home immediately, but that he ultimately failed to do so. Williams Jr. planned and executed the premeditated armed kidnapping to extort his way out of a recording contract. On this day of the offense, Williams Jr. lured Gucci, and a music industry executive and owner of a recording label, and the other victims to Dallas under the guise of participating in a business meeting. Williams had been signed to Gucci's recording label for over 5 years. Throughout much of the relationship, Williams was federally incarcerated. During his incarceration, his father was his business manager, made numerous unsuccessful attempts to renegotiate the terms of Williams Jr.'s contract with Gucci, including trying to obtain the rights to Williams Jr.'s master recordings. Once Williams Jr. was released to home confinement October 25, he personally continued to push the negotiations, while Gucci remained open to negotiating certain aspects of Williams Jr.'s contract, such as his album payouts. Gucci was adamant that he would not give Williams Jr.'s rights to his masters.
Hell no,
It was
I ain't
under the
giving you no
pretext of
master,
continuing these
nigga.
negotiations
The
that
hell, I
Gucci
blew you
believed he was
up.
invited to Dallas. So Gucci Man was like, I'll give you a bigger advance, but I'm still going to own your masters, motherfucker. This is what happens. Why do artists sign to another artist? Never do that.
I
It's
ain't gonna
never
lie.
work.
It ain't just to sign it to another artist. These niggas sign their masters to labels own more masters than these other artists. My nigga, trust me. Sony, that's how they. Why do you think? How do you think they so fucking rich? They own everybody music. What the fuck? All the music you hear in all the movies, TV shows, commercials, fucking all everything, bro. TikTok, people getting paid. They getting paid for that. Them labels is getting paid. They own. It's not too many rappers that own their masters, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's something you have to sacrifice in order for you to get on. They get the asset. You get rich. You get famous. You get an opportunity to take care of your family forever, and they get the asset forever. But in return, it's supposed to be a business negotiation to the point where we both happy. Okay, yeah, you don't own your masters, but you made $100 million. So it's like, fuck the masters. I'll go sign somebody else, or, you know what I'm saying, make some new music or something like that. Like,
It's going to ruin the relationship. At a certain point, you're going to feel like you're being shafted, which you are, low key. Record labels in general are fucking scum of the earth. They want as much money as possible. I just saw when Oliver Tree died,
I don't think it's
his
coming to
record
Earth.
label started claiming as many videos as possible manually. They don't give a fuck about artists whatsoever. They put a little note
No.
here about
But
FDO.
why would
the
they
song.
though? It's a business, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it is. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like it's a business. Because if you were established enough as a rapper, they wouldn't need your masters to give you $2-3 million. Y'all don't talk about the fact that they own a lot of masters that they never made a profit from. They pay a lot of rappers that ain't talking about shit no more. And they just spend millions on these niggas. And they ain't never got no profit. They still in the red. You feel me? So they take a lot of losses. So if you a rapper who is already doing tours, you already selling out shows, you already getting millions of views, of course they'll probably let you keep your masters because you've already established yourself. So they looking at it like, yeah, we'll fuck with you. Come on, you keep your masters. You don't even need no advance because you already getting money, but we'll help you and take 20% of your shit. Okay, cool. That we can work with that. But you gotta put yourself in that position. So I don't think they scamming or none of that, nigga. And if you ain't read your contract, you a grown ass man. Read your fucking contract. If you ain't like it, you shouldn't have signed it, bro. You can't change your mind later. Like, you feel me? It's like you can't be having sex and then shoot the club up and then talking about some, oh wait, no, I was tweaking. No, wait, go back. No, you finna have this baby, dumbass. Fuck.
Put out when he got out that was #1 on Billboard, opening with a direct reference to walking out of jail and declaring his contempt for federal authorities, and later describing working out in his cell, reorganizing his gang, and the frustration of being stuck in the cage while war raged outside it. Jesus. On January 10th, Gucci traveled to Texas to attend this meeting with his photographer MM, his close friend BP, and his 2 former police officer security guards CW and TD. CW, remember this. CW is a police officer security guard. Remember that. They arrived at the recording studio with Williams Sr., his fellow Choppa Gang leader, and Memphis recording artist Rodney Wright Jr., aka Big 30, his close friend Kadarius Waters, and 5 other Confederates. At the studio, Williams Jr. spoke on the phone with what the victim believed was his parole officer.
I promise you that.
Telling the person he was speaking to that he was not supposed to be out. After this call, Williams Jr. asked to speak with Gucci in the soundproof recording room adjoining the main control room, with Williams Sr. and Wright Jr. then joining the two in the recording room. Once inside the recording room, Pooh Shiesty demanded Gucci release him from his record contract and produce a printed contract release for Gucci to sign. A copy of this release was printed out by his dad at Staples, later recovered from Mr. Williams' emails. Ooh.
Remember all these niggas? Man, how the hell they know that he printed the shit out? They don't know what they talking about. They talking about some he printed it out. Man, what are you talking about? Lawyers were saying it. All these rappers were saying it. Niggas on YouTube were saying it. And what did I tell you? I said, if you go to them printing machines, you know you have to put it in it has to be in your email or your Google Drive for you to print it out. You can't just print it out of fucking thin air. So that means the feds can go and look in and see what was in your email, even if you deleted it. What made y'all think the nigga was gonna beat the feds? What made y'all think, like, what the fuck? And I told y'all the lawyer just gonna get on here. The lawyer gonna make it seem like you gonna beat it no matter what, because he trying to get paid. But he gonna give you all the hope in the world. He don't give no fuck. He trying to make all that millions, and then your dumb ass gonna go to jail anyway, and he gonna be rich as hell.
At Staples, later recovered from Mr. Williams' emails. Ooh. See, I was wondering if they have record of this contract release.
Of course they do.
Somewhere. Like if Staples kept it, they can get a search warrant for that. But no, they found it in bro's emails. Not good. His father's emails. Gucci refused to sign it. Pooh Shiesty instructed Wright Jr. to bring him his bag. When Wright Jr. returned with the bag, Pooh Shiesty produced an AK-style pistol described as a choppa, pointed at Gucci's head, and repeated his demand that Gucci sign the release contract. Unsatisfied with merely obtaining the release of the contract, Pooh Shiesty announced that he wanted to film Gucci, and Wright Jr. recorded Gucci on his cell phone, saying that Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017. All the while, co-defendant DeMarcus Glover, who had entered the recording room as the altercation ensued, blocked the door holding a Draco. Oh, God. New pictures. Okay, so his father with the paperwork in his hand in the studio, and this co-defendant DeMarcus Glover literally with a Draco. And then it's like,
when you find out that it was y'all dumbass who said, man, here, record this shit, man. Hey, tell him record it, man. They thought that was doing something. Yeah, tell him record it, man. Yeah, man. We finna get the money, man. You dumb motherfucker. Oh, The fact, see now, if it was recorded from the recording studio, then it was like, okay, yeah, y'all still stupid, but this just make y'all even fucking dumber. You recorded your own crime yourself, nigga? What the fuck? Who does that? Who robs the bank with meta glasses on? Like, yeah, I'm finna get this. Yeah, I'm finna get that. Yeah. Put everything in the bag. Put everything in the bag. Make sure I get my angles. Nigga. Like, y'all nigga ass is slow. That's the problem. Y'all slow.
Gucci Mane's face is blurred out when we all know who it is. And Pooh Shiesty with the shiesty on, standing there. If you look at this body language, this don't look like friends. This shit looked tense. After obtaining Gucci's signature and verbal release of contract, Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci of approximately $450,000 worth of personal property, including his wedding band, a watch, pair of earrings, and the cash that Gucci was carrying in his pocket. With the signed release and Gucci's jewelry in hand, Williams Jr. and Wright Jr. forced Gucci back into the control room at gunpoint, hands raised. There, the violence continued, with Wright Jr. and two other co-conspirators blocking the exit door with firearms drawn, while the other co-conspirators robbed MM and BP at gunpoint. During the offense, MM described that he was choked to the point of near unconsciousness, while BP recounted to investigators that Williams Jr. held the barrel of his Draco to the back of his head.
They thought they was having fun like a
so
motherfucker.
Stupid. Crash dummies. Williams Jr. and his co-conspirators subsequently exited the larger office building encompassing the music studio through one of the set doors. Gucci, MM, CW, and TD left through the other and called 911. After the hearing, magistrate judge correctly assessed Williams' danger to the community and flight risk and ordered be detained. The court ordered Williams to be detained, finding the weight of the evidence against him was strong. She was troubled by his criminal history when he shot that man in the buttocks back in 2020 in Florida. Popped that guy in the ass cheeks.
Yep.
The court must consider four factors: the nature and circumstances of the offense charged, the weight of the evidence against the defendant, the history and characteristics of the defendant, including past conduct, criminal history, probation status, the nature and seriousness of danger to any person in the community. Neither the facts and circumstances of the offense of Pooh Shiesty's personal characteristics have improved since the April 8th detention hearing. In fact, the strength of the government's case has only increased, including through locating the contract Williams Jr. forced Gucci Mane to sign. So that's a point in my last video. I was like, they haven't found this contract that he forced him to sign. Well, they found it now.
They found that motherfucker.
And the video of Gucci's kidnapping and extortion itself, these guys are fucked. These evidentiary gaps that Williams Jr. used a foundation for his filing have now closed. Almost equally pervasive in
and
Williams'
still on
request
your
is that the theme that he has previously demonstrated compliance with conditions of home confinement. However, subsequently, an investigation of Williams' behavior paints a different picture, with his repeated failure to comply with the terms of his home confinement, further underscoring the lengths he will go to subvert conditions set by court and government authority. Pooh Shiesty stands at the center of this armed kidnapping, robbery, and extortion. Pooh Shiesty summoned the victims to Dallas. It was Pooh Shiesty who set the violence on January 10th in motion when Gucci refused his demands, pulling a Draco from his bag and pointing it at Gucci. It was Pooh Shiesty who brought the armed gang members to a business meeting, betraying his own expectation that the encounter would devolve into violence. Pooh Shiesty refused to be satisfied holding Gucci at gunpoint to sign a release. Instead, he continued to terrorize victims by stealing their personal valuables. The victims' statements provided to law enforcement on the day of the offense, as well as their statements in subsequent interviews with investigators.
Crazy part is he probably would have got away with it
by Pooh Shiesty and his fellow co-conspirators. Wait, so they have more statements? I thought we only had Gucci's statements. That's what his defense lawyer said, at least. Now, about the weight of the evidence being strong, and his defense lawyer saying this does not support
trying to get
detention.
that money on, man.
The case includes cooperation of all 5 victims and witnesses, cell phone data location, surveillance video placing the co-conspirators at the scene, and the video of Wright Jr. filed of Gucci in the recording room being forced to declare Williams Jr. was dropped from his label and released from his contract. Judge Colliver called this evidence strong on April 8th on a record that did not include the release paperwork or video. Among other evidence, the government's case includes not 1, but 5 cooperating victims and witnesses. The sum of the total of the government's case rests solely on Gucci Mane's statements, who he further claims has now publicly recanted. It is telling that Pooh Shiesty provides no exhibits, evidence, context, or citation to support that repeated assertion in that filing. The government is presently unaware of any statements made by any of the victims that in any way challenge the consistent narrative provided by law enforcement. All right, so 2 months ago, investigators conducted interviews with all 5 cooperating witnesses and victims. Each remained consistent with their prior accounts and reaffirmed their cooperation with the prosecution. I thought Gucci was saying he ain't cooperating with the police on social media. Pooh Shiesty argues there's a genuine question whether the charge conduct is a federal crime and that it should.
What the hell? I wish you would come rob me for $500,000 worth of shit. What you think I'm supposed to save you? Fuck you. You going to jail, homie. Y'all niggas.